Welcome into a very special recording of the Metaventurist Interview series. I am the Goldsmith, and I'm speaking with an Uplander who owns some of the most iconic properties in the game of Upland, including the Genesis property, literally the first property minted in Upland. He also is one of the developers and one of the first developers of Upland Layer 2 tools and communities, even before Upland coined the term of Layer 2, even before there was any type of encouragement from the team of Upland to bring in independent devs. One of the earliest and longest serving broadcasters in the Upland ecosystem, and now at a point where Layer 2 is finally positioned to have some expansion, finally positioned to start becoming a large portion of the game of Upland, and finally positioned to have a little bit of support on the back and forth of the side of Upland. UPX World is back and integrating with new partners to provide new tools and upcoming integrations with a number of well-established projects. Thank you so much for your time today. How are you doing?
Goldsmith, you flatter me. My goodness.
Well, that's what I always ask. Like, did I get everything? What did I miss? Tell me what I should have put in that I didn't.
No, you covered it, I think. I think you more than covered it, honestly. I appreciate
more than covered it. Haven't you had like 4 shows and I don't know.
Yeah, no, I've been around. I've done a lot. That's for sure. I think, yeah, I forget sometimes, like, oh yeah, I own the Genesis property. I think my favorite in-game claim to fame is highest number of badges. That's
Is that true now?
I believe it's still true. I think I'm the only one in double digits. I don't know that anybody else has double digit badges.
I mean, they've done a lot of badges recently.
Have they? Have I been slacking?
So you know that they did the whole world traveler, take all the trains, take all the planes. That was 3 badges you could have earned.
3? What? No.
Yeah, 3 badges. Some people did.
3 separate badges?
Yeah.
Or like,
yeah. Well, one of them was like Globe Traveler. So to be in every city, what? There was like Train Meister. It wasn't called Train Meister. Train Meister, take every train in the game of Upland or travel from every train station. And like Master of Planes, and it wasn't called Master of Planes, to fly out of every airport or every city airport. Yeah. See, that's what you get for like being an Upland player who plays the game of Upland, but not like immerses yourself in everything that's going on.
There's so much going on, and it's really hard to balance everything between, creating a layer 2, living a normal life, and in being in depth in Upland. You can't really have all of it.
Well, you got to toss that normal life out the window. The layer 2 stuff, the development stuff, that's important for sure. Get in the layer 1 Upland, and you'll find out if you've got extra time for real life.
Yeah, no. Dang. Well, I am sad I missed that.
No, for sure. Well, for sure. There is too much. There's too much for everyone to think, or anyone to think they're going to be involved in everything. And but that's the joke is the people who will really care about the game of Upland. Some of them have transitioned to this idea they're trying to build something, in the form of layer 2, and they spend so much time building layer 2, they're not in layer 1 as much.
Yeah, I mean that is the trade-off, right? Like, you can, because if you have free time, you need to be heads down on your project, or it's just going to fall behind. So yeah, I don't front anybody who's working on layer 2 stuff that can't keep up with layer 1, and I'm not mad at the layer 1 people chugging along and oblivious to layer 2 either.
Well, I mean, layer 1 is what is, creating any type of momentum that there is for layer 2 to come in. And really it's still, finally there's enough support of layer 2 where we can start seeing more and more onboarding of these projects, aka UPX World, coming in, hopefully gain a little purple dot at some point.
Yeah, no, I think you'll see an UPX World purple dot before you know it. Right now, the purple dot would be for our premium side of the data site. So we are working with Grom Brindle, who is bringing in his premium features from Optimizer. So the optimization and a couple other data dashboards will be available for a premium purchase. And so that will be our initial dev shop.
So I mean, I gotta wind back because I brought you in sideways here. So UPX World, obviously, I bring that in the intro here. UPX World, obviously, something that was developed, that you took down for a while, worked on redeveloping, relaunched. Obviously, kind of didn't bury the lead there, I should say. Kind of led with the lead of the partnerships. But tell me a little bit, back up a little bit. Tell me a little bit about UPX World, what you're doing now, how things are set, what you're trying to do, and then we can get back into the nitty gritty of this partner, that partner, why it matters.
Yeah. So UPX World is really one of the longest continuously running sites. I mean, continuous is probably it was down and in various states for a while, but we were the first major data site and platform about 2.5 years ago at this point. And then, yeah, there were some transitions where we were down for a while and it transitioned to some other teams that were doing it. And now we're back. We have a whole new development team and a whole new back end. We actually have, not to get super nerdy, but like the relational database and the actual way that we store the information that we gather from the Upland EOS blockchain is very unique and time consuming. It's actually comprised of dozens of related tables. The data is broken out. So that way on our site, you can do things like find the cheapest apartment for sale in the entire game. And we can query every piece of data that exists in a much faster time because it is structured data and it's not unstructured.
So it's structured data with multi-tags, and each tag theoretically can be its own query.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's a relational, so everything is the tables are related. So it's really easy to start pulling things like every single send that's ever been put to a property, the entire history of buy, sell, trade of a property, that kind of stuff. All of the Spark rental history, who's sparking where, how much, etc.
Compounding filters. So every apartment that is in a collection area that's for sale below blank amount.
Here, hold on. Let's.
Yeah, you're gonna share already? We could do this.
Yeah, well, here.
Slap that up there.
If you got,
I challenge you. Now you have to do it, right?
I know. So
here we are, upxworld.dev.
Well, this is the dev site. You can go.
Oh, I can't get here, huh?
Well, I mean, you can actually. I don't know if the registration works, but upx.world is the site you want to go to. But you can, if you were one of the lucky testers, you can get here. This has our newest code that's going to be pushed hopefully in the next week or so. So you're going to see some updates and things that may not be live yet. So here we go. And as you see, we plan on having data for multiple chains and projects, not just Upland. We are looking to be a much larger layer 2 player. Upland is just going to be one of the platforms we support. All right, so you wanted to find a property.
I want to find a very specific property.
Okay, and so, and this property has an apartment building on it?
Let's do it.
Okay, and so it's for sale UPX or USD?
Yeah, UPX. UPX. I mean, I'm not spending USD.
UPX, fair enough. Yeah. Every city?
Yeah, let's find the lowest cost one.
Okay, so for sale. Okay, well, I mean, right here, this should, this should pull up the cheapest apartment building for sale for UPX anywhere. And here it is, Fresno.
You gotta resort that, bud.
Oh wait, hold on.
So resort.
Hold on.
I was gonna say
that's my bad. That's my bad.
You sorted it correctly. You just didn't resale it.
Oh wait, wait. Should be. Hold on.
Yeah, sort by price. Price.
Right. My thing was. I blame me. There we go. 30. There we go. Hold on.
There we go.
See. And you could see once it actually queried it initially to get the data set, it was very quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
to actually go through. I mean, this pulled up 1,100 records, and this is querying every single building in the game. So now we could see here again. So we Fresno, Oakland, Sao Paulo. So we got a mix.
I mean, we got 1,100 apartments in the game of Upland right now that are for sale.
For sale for UPX. Yes.
For UPX, yeah.
Yep. So that's another way to look at that. Yep. And then you were talking about collections. So if you did want it to be in certain collections, and all of these are multi-select.
Mm-hmm.
So I can select as many as I want and actually build out the query. So I'm not limited to just one search.
Is there a way to toggle on, or is it this a suggestion for you now that you have to do that says just any in a standard collection, or any that's in exclusive? Or
I like that.
yeah.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. I mean, we obviously have the data because here, I mean, you can see which collections and it knows what the highest collection is. There you go. Outer Sunset, still pretty high markup.
That's a pretty high markup
So
for structure. I'm surprised. Oh, it's an apartment building. I was just gonna say I was surprised there's not more structures for sale in Outer Sunset, but it is an apartment, and there's not a lot of apartment-sized properties over there.
452. This seems like a pretty
You're
deep.
Holy, you gonna buy that? Get in there.
No, I'm not gonna buy it, but it doesn't seem.
No, it's 1,000,009.
Oh, maybe. I was like, yeah, 500%.
In Soho, it's 1,000,009.
In Soho, yeah. Soho's a 2.1.
Yeah, but it's still 1,000,009.
At Broadway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And again, those are the exact kind of suggestions we always look for.
Mhm.
We actually have a forum on the UPX World Discord server that people can put different suggestions of what they would like to see there.
I've seen you before when you've had so many suggestions. It's like it takes you a day and poof, they're there. Not every situation, not every suggestion, but
Yeah.
I've seen it happen. It's happened.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's definitely our goal. Have you seen this? I really like the neighborhood
Yeah,
dash.
show off. I haven't seen this. Show me.
Okay, let's see here. I'll go Vegas. And we'll just say downtown.
And I'm looking in the middle of the page. We're looking at recent sales dashboard. Is this correct?
Yeah, so this is one of the new neighborhood management dashboards that we're working on. So the idea here is to give neighborhoods more insight into different things about their neighborhood. So this, for instance, is a recent sales graph. So you can look at different time periods and see like, oh, wow, okay, last month this area had a lot of sales, and then actually look into what they're selling for. This is a great, if you're trying to price out and you want like recent sales information.
Can I see this in a table, or is it just a?
You can.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. So you can actually convert to a table then and see the markup, who is the buyer, the seller, the price, the address, all of that good, happy information.
And this is something I can sort by neighborhood. I can sort by city.
Yep. So yep, right now you can select the city and the neighborhood that you want to look at. And then you can select the time period.
And if you have a node, you could be like, what jerk sold out this month? Oh gosh, the guy who we thought was our mayor or was one of our key members sold 15 properties last month. What the heck?
Yes, you can definitely start looking at things like that for sure.
And this is, you said this is recent. Is this going to be pushed, or is this out already live?
It's not live yet. I mean, if you can get on the dev site, it's live, but it's not live in production yet. No. Let's see what's that. And then obviously we are really big into stats, and so we are continuing to build out kind of the stats page. So this is, I really like this one. I'm like helping evaluate. Actually, let's pick a neighborhood. I'll pick West Dallas. that's a bad one.
That is
Apparently,
a bad one. No floor, nothing. There you
nothing.
go.
Not even.
It's because it's not released yet. Okay,
Oh, is it? Maybe it's.
you gotta go to one of the ones that's already released,
I
bud.
don't even know what's released. Let's see. Why are the why Dallas? You are failing me. Go away.
Go to a city that's actually got neighborhoods that are fully released. There you go.
Jeez, old Pete's. Oh, Apparel City. Oh no,
There you
this is
go.
gonna be terrible data, but whatever.
There you go.
All right. So things to look at here. And we broke it out. And again, this is all coming back. And I think one of the biggest benefits we have is a lot of the feedback and kind of the thought leadership behind it is coming from veteran players who've been around, who know the kind of data that they want and need. And so here we have by count and then also by mint. So this will show you the status of the number of properties by number and then by the actual mint size. This can come into play when you're looking at how much availability is left in neighborhood, what kind of properties are for sale. So 17 for sale, but it's actually probably some of the smaller ones. As you can see, that's a smaller percent of the total pie. So mint wise. So it means that most of these are probably along the smaller side, one locked property. Down here, in addition to being able to see who are top property owners by count, you can also see who's building in a neighborhood, but not just who has the buildings, but then one of the top things that I like to see is who's actually investing Spark. So by actually looking at the top Spark investors, you can get a much better idea of, obviously, Star Labs is heavily invested in this area based on his actual usage. So if we actually get
you need to step things up there. You've got maybe 2 buildings you built with your 2,000.
Well,
Spark hours.
I don't build a lot in Apparel City. I wish Apparel City was one of the first ones I was trying to buy out, actually, in hopes of putting clothing merchandising stores there. So I was buying out very early on a lot of Apparel City. So here we go, for sale. So you can see here the for sale is about the same. Now this is where I'm curious of by top Spark investors. So no surprise here. Ben 68 absolutely crushing. And next to June actually keeping up. That's very impressive.
What neighborhood are we looking at? You just scroll down.
This is all of San Francisco.
Oh, all of San Francisco.
This is all of San Francisco.
So where's June putting his Spark? I know where Ben puts most of his.
Sure. I would assume that's a great question. Well, wait, we can do that.
So is this just Spark invested by building structures, or does this include manufacturing?
This would include any Spark spent in the so
in that neighborhood, which would include manufacturing.
Yes. So actually, if we wanted to do that, we could go and search by user. And let's see here. It is June Pinoy. June.
Not to put June on blast.
Oh no, June's a great guy. I'm gonna assume it's a lot in Merced Manor. Him and Rick Courier have been building that out. I know I was putting a couple in there. So we can go here. We can see. We go to Spark History. You can pull up any player. They have 35.9 Spark. Here's where they are staking. Oh, they're in LA now. Wow.
This is, I don't know if I should be scared by all this data you have on this. This is all part of the game.
We have every transaction that's ever happened on the chain since day one categorized and put in a database. We're talking millions of transactions, and it's all in our database. And yeah, so we can pull reports like this and go, wow, Okay, so June's actually, yeah, June has actually been in LA. There we go, San Francisco. But recently he switched over to LA.
Maybe he developed all of San Francisco.
I
Or what
mean,
properties he had over there. I don't know.
so then I could look at like, okay, well, where is that? Because I bet that's a neighborhood. Let's see, I bet he has that property.
So we go to properties. You're looking at his property.
Yeah, let's see
Can you
here.
sort by status? Like if I'm currently structured. Oh, there you go. That's the other way of doing it.
Oh, I guess I just assumed he owned it. He might not own it.
Could be somebody else's. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be somebody
I
else's.
mean, you know that the Spark exchanges is well, multiple Spark exchanges, but the UPX Spark exchange just kicked back up. So there's people who weren't staking who just started staking again.
That's true.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Upland Spark Exchange,
Segue.
subtle segue, we
Yeah.
will actually be working in conjunction with the Spark Exchange. So Spark Exchange will be joining the UPX World ecosystem, which is going to lead to a lot of really cool things. Some of the stuff I'm talking about that I really want to see is being able to like go to like a neighborhood dashboard
Mhm.
and then seeing like who has so there's three, because here, hold on, let's do this. Oh no,
You know, it's not just the depth here, it's just the breadth. I mean, you're going, let me try this other tool. Let me show you this other thing.
there is so much here that people just don't even realize that they have access to. And that's the truth. So what I wanted to show was, let's say, so I know Century City's got a big population. They're pushing for a lot of development, right? So I can go here and I can go buildings under construction by type.
Mhm.
Wow, that's okay. Wait,
It's because they're almost fully built out, bud. You gotta go
wow,
to a, you gotta
wow,
you gotta go to a neighborhood that's not fully built out.
that's really interesting.
Yeah, yeah. So
Well,
find a neighborhood that's like building but not fully built out.
all right. Well, then I mean, I'm definitely gonna go to my boys Hyde Park Ninjas.
There you go. Take a look. Now you can't put them on blast. You can't be like, oh, they're building nothing. What's going on there?
They better not be building
There
up
you go.
there.
There you go.
All
There you
right.
go.
So here we go. And I like to view this as a pie chart. So we can see here, you know, that they're building townhouses. So the idea would be, if you were managing this neighborhood, what if you could go and just like pay? So like, you know, hey, here's my townhouses. I would like to pay to have them accelerated. Like, I'm going to just buy off the Spark Exchange to go and just finish building out these townhouses. I'm gonna, as we're looking at, so one of the things I was telling you earlier about is we are working on a concept for upland guilds. So every neighborhood will be a guild. And with that, you're going to be able to have things like a guild bank, and will collect potentially revenue, say if you are sparking or using the Spark Exchange in a neighborhood, getting revenue put into that bank, and then being able to run promotions to say, hey, anybody who rents Spark from or to support our neighborhood gets a bonus per Spark hour, sponsored by the neighborhood.
So
So
by guild, that could be a node, that could be another organization.
it's a neighborhood.
Oh, it's specifically a neighborhood.
One neighborhood equals one guild.
Okay.
That's it.
Easy rules.
Yep, very easy. And then we want to work very much like Upland with their kind of democratization of the game, where if it's your home address, and we'll probably do like the 30-day window, like cooldown, so people don't abuse it, but like allowing the community to vote on things like, hey, if there is a leader, if there is going to be a tax, so hey, do we want to put a 10% tax on all of the things we're doing to collect for a fundraiser for it? And the people who actually are residents there will get to vote on those types of things. as a community.
Mm.
So that way, again, it's incentivizing people to have homes, it's incentivizing communities to come together, and it's giving people a reason to want to be in a place, which is also then going to segue into why it's going to be worth renting eventually. Because these very sought after neighborhoods, if the only way to be a part of that community at large is to have your home address there, and there's a limited number of spaces, renting a place in that neighborhood to have your home address there might become a feasible opportunity. So that is long term when you start thinking about why it's really important to build around neighborhoods as a community. To me, that's one of the big ones.
So as a tool, this could be an integration with any project or many different projects with an application with either somebody's gamified experience or tying into a way another project has a reward structure, and those could theoretically work in tandem. You give an opportunity for node specific voting or node level voting, theoretically giving an opportunity for leaders of that node to essentially know all that's going on at the moment. And that's just a little slice of the pie of what you're working on as far as the data tools now.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. That's just the absolute, tip of what we're looking to do as a layer 2 platform.
What's the pie in the sky then? What's the pie in the sky on data tools like this for a node? Do you have a what would you like to see in like 3 years, or is there a kind of a make it a Swiss Army knife and let people use it as they want to?
Yeah, I mean, it is really building a platform for people to utilize. But from a neighborhood perspective, I want it to be like essentially like Guild Wars style, like neighborhood versus neighborhood. That was the single, to me, still probably one of the single funnest events that Upland ever did was Spud Wars and neighborhood versus neighborhood contest. And it was phenomenal. So much fun. I want to bring that to layer 2. I want to bring that in a big way to layer 2, where we have not only are you battling, you're leveling your neighborhoods. So as you gain experience, as you participate in events, as you complete achievements, you get experience for your neighborhood that will unlock different levels and achievements for you as a community. Like, that's what I want to build towards. I think that's where the fun of layer 2 really comes in.
I mean, that's an interesting concept, because what you're describing is a gamification of properties. We had a little bit of this discussion in the greater Upland community about, what is the base, the core of Upland? Is it properties? A lot of people, that's all they want to do in Upland. They want to do properties. They want to buy their properties. They want to sell their properties. They want to flip their properties. They want to, go and give their properties a little sniff, because that's what they enjoy in the game. And if you can make those properties fun, you don't have to necessarily get rid of your property. You don't need to trade it or sell it for you to feel like you're interacting with the property, but you have a reward, potentially a reward for building on your property in layer 2 that's specific to that property. It doesn't require you to, potentially jump into a different gamified layer or another gamified concept where you have to imagine that now there's princesses living on your property, but you're talking about just making it a game of, can I develop my properties better than he can develop his?
Yeah.
I like it. I mean, again, when people are talking about, the data, the nuts and bolts, the side of things, people don't usually get that excited, but I love watching you be like, yeah, you can do this and this and this and this with the data. And I think that there are people who really get excited about that, but people also get excited about, what they can do with their property and why do they want to build that townhouse on that property as opposed to a small townhouse, as opposed to a micro. And I think you're looking at it right there. So you just looked at what's actively built. So what can I do?
These are under construction.
Yeah. What do I do to say what's actively built here? Because we looked at what's under construction right now.
Oh yeah. So then I can, and again, so I added another one so that way I can see completed by type,
Yeah.
and so then I can do that as a pie chart.
Boom.
And so then I can see here, yeah, so 234 townhouses.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm looking at apartments of only 33. That
Mhm.
seems pretty low to me. They do have 16 under construction, so that's not too bad.
Yeah.
I think they're good on micros.
So if I'm looking neighborhood by neighborhood and I want to say, you know, do I think this is a better neighborhood for me to, put my house in, or, this is my residence, and I look and it's like I can look and see that it's 80% micros. Do I want to be in a place that's 80% micros?
Right, 100%. So yeah, you want to come here and take a look, like what's the actual mix. Here's the other thing is like go into those discords, see who's talking, right?
Mm.
So if you go into any of the Hyde Park Ninja stuff, I can tell you you're going to hear SC Kicker, you're going to see KO Ninja, like, and I bet if I go to Top Spark Investors, yeah, and Dizzy,
It's
like,
dizzy.
yeah, and that's another thing is, okay, anybody who knows Daddy D, like he's a smart and big player. So if he's investing that much spark here, there's something to be said. And so that's the other thing is like I'm looking who else is investing. Hey, June, we talked to we might have found where June just started to put down, because
Yeah.
here he is creeping up the board. But these are the leaders here. SC Kicker, KO Ninja, like they are at the top, like they are putting their money where their mouth is. So those are kind of some of the things I look for is who's investing, who actually owns, and then total like building owners. Not surprising.
I'm excited about this right now. Is this live? Is this tool live?
Oh yeah, this is live. So this is stats. You can see all of this today.
This is just under stats, but we just looked at a pie graph essentially of I can break that down by who owns properties, who's currently building properties. Can I play with things like I can play with things like number of properties, UP2 size, right? Who owns the largest UP2 size in that area? Like sort by UP2 size.
Yeah, and again, so if I wanted to get more here, like I can actually take things away. So if I didn't want to see those, if I didn't want to see the small factories, whatever it was, I can configure that to my liking. Yeah, and so we have Spark investors, top owners by mint, top owners by size, top building owners, and then just top by.
So top owners by size would be UP2. So I can say this person owns the most UP2, even if they only own 17 properties in that neighborhood. They own the big ones.
Yeah. So when we look at, we figured it wasn't really a one size fits all. And even by mint, this can vary if there's like a post vanilla collection that goes through it. It's usually pretty relative to size, but not always. And if you just wanted to see how much people spent on their neighborhood, like minimum Dizzy dropped 10 million, and that assumes he minted everything, and I know he didn't. These guys probably minted most of that.
Well, Hyde Park was available for mint for a long time, so
I think it's still available.
Yeah, it's
actually
still it hasn't. Look at that. There's a ton that's unminted. So it's been available to mint for over a year and several months. So I mean, you can go in there and buy everything at mint. Obviously, the floor mints from the bottom up, right? Where the cheapest ones mint first, but you could still go and mint a ton in there if you wanted to.
Yeah. So now I want to show you this. Let's see here. Screen share.
Well, you can show me something else.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you some more cool stuff. So we're talking about guilds.
Yeah.
So this is one of the other things, and this is for those who were part of and are part of XNet, they might have seen these in their Discord. These are custom badges that we are having made. And so specifically for XNet neighborhoods, they're going to be custom. The other neighborhoods will all get them, but they'll be a little bit more generic. And the idea here is each one comes with a custom icon and then decorations. And the decorations are for number of properties owned and then the number of buildings owned. So this would be a level like 1 properties owned.
Mhm,
This would be a level 1 buildings owned,
mhm,
right? And so this way people can go and you'll actually start collecting these for all the neighborhoods you're a part of.
mhm,
The ones, if it's your home address, it turns gold. So these, if you go into somebody's badges and you see it gold, like, so this is for Citadel, you would
mhm.
know that this is their home address was in this neighborhood. But then you could see, again, how do you compare? And it starts to give you goals of, man, I really want to earn that next ball. And you'll be able to see, level 5 in this neighborhood might be own 10 properties,
Mhm.
right? To be able to get to the top level. And then you have to build them all out, right?
So leveling would be scaled to number of properties in the neighborhood or amount of
Correct.
UP2 or whatever.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
The levels are 1 through 5 owned, 1 through 5 built, and they are tailored to the individual neighborhood based on total properties in that neighborhood.
That's cool.
Yeah,
So this could be a way of, again, you can only have one home, you can only have one residence in the game of Upland,
yeah,
but you may be a part of many, many neighborhoods, especially,
correct.
like node communities. So that's
Right.
really cool that you can display that in one succinct area.
Yeah, so obviously, like our family at Creedmoor, like I can't always have my home in Creedmoor. Halloween, I usually switch it over, but you still want to be able to represent. And so for all of our this one, I think was Sunland and Chocolate City. Um, so yeah, and there's actually more. This is an old logo.
So this is
Uh,
everybody in XNet already is set up in these.
yeah, and actually there's more than this. But yeah, these are all already set up. We have all their badges. We're working on coding it so that way when you go to your UPX World user profile, you'll be able to see how you rank in all of the XNet neighborhoods. And yeah, so that'll be another fun gamification. And again, driving community and like giving you a reason to own more properties, right? You were
Mhm.
mentioning it, like some people just want to collect properties. Okay, cool. Well, see how many badges you can earn in each of these high value neighborhoods. Like, there you go. Now you have little things that you can do. And if you're really dedicated to a neighborhood, like this is the badge you want. You
Mhm.
want the golden 5, like that's the pinnacle. That means you are a top contributor. That's your home address. Like there's no better way to show your neighborhood pride than achieving that. Right. So I think it's just an interesting, it'll be a fun and interesting way to kind of encourage competition as well.
And people could create that, could create their own overlay of reward structures. I mean, just because you're giving the tool doesn't mean that's where it ends.
That's 100% correct. So I would definitely expect neighborhoods to start running competitions, offering rewards, things like that for people who grow their status, or even have like specific chats, like maybe in their Discord, things like that that are available based on your badge status. There'll definitely be some other things that you'll be able to do with your status. So much like a guild, and if and when we get a guild bank set up for these different guilds, those might even be levels. So
Mm,
the guild commission could say, hey, if you're a 5-star neighborhood person, then you get the top level access to the guild bank. So that means you can make higher level decisions, right?
mm.
You can move resources around as you need, stuff like that. So there's a lot that we can do once we put those mechanics in place to then be able to gamify it and give utility.
I love it. And so this is another tool in the toolbox. This is something that you guys have already run on the XNet side of things. And again, this is another one of those, lead with the specifics, lead with the minutia, but not with the broad. So tell me about XNet. So XNet is a
Yeah,
network that you've already put together for UPX World.
yeah. So XNet is, yeah, we kicked off XNet maybe early this year. Yeah, and so there's, and actually I feel bad because this definitely is not the newest. There's at
More
least
groups now.
like Merced Manor, I know is
Mhm.
Merced Manor might be the only. I'm sure I'm forgetting other ones, and I feel bad. Um, but yeah, so we wanted to make a node network to kind of cross promote. We're going to be doing a lot of games, a lot of layer twos, stuff like that. And this serves as kind of like our test group for some of the stuff. So like I said, like the badges, we are actually going to be testing some the guild bank that I was talking about. So we're going to allow people to actually collect for a guild bank and then run promotions in conjunction with the Spark Exchange. So that's going to be a fun activity to actually do, like fundraising to then do a big build out push through the Spark Exchange.
So when you say guild bank, you've talked about it a little bit. So
Mm.
guild bank would be taking funds from members. How would that work?
Yeah, so in the long run, what we would do is kind of like a tax system. So neighborhoods would be able to opt in that would say, hey, if you are selling your Spark and your home address is in this neighborhood,
Mhm.
then we get 10% of the revenue that you generate from that. If you are competing in, say, a guild war event, so if you're battling another neighborhood, then the guild might take a percentage of that and put it into the guild bank. Also, people would just be able to donate if they were like, "Hey, I want to give 1,000 UPX to the guild bank in support." Maybe there's people can do like just like almost like charity raffle of like
Mhm.
collecting UPX, just like you would do in any game, like
Or
World of
or
Warcraft.
run a contest. Yeah, like you say, raffle. Run a contest. You donate every time you donate 1,000 or more, you get one entry into the raffle ticket. Somebody wins, but ultimately the guild bank makes a profit.
Correct. All
Yeah.
of that good, fun stuff that people are used to in games like World of Warcraft. We want to bring that now to Layer 2 and to Upland. And having that guild bank is going to unlock some really fun stuff. Like I said, guild versus guild battles. Imagine, wagering as a community against your guild bank
Mhm.
and participating as, one of the neighborhood members. Also, again, like I said, using it for promotions. So being able to come together as a community and say, yeah, we would like to, run a Spark train in our neighborhood. So we are going to pay an extra 5 UPX per Spark hour for the next 1,000 Spark hours
Mhm.
sold in our neighborhood, right? And then fund that by the guild bank. So
And you're talking about that would specifically be the guild bank thing could be integrated with UPX Spark Exchange, whereas they could directly go to UPX Spark Exchange. Anybody who posts a property in UPX Spark Exchange, five UPX per hour, whatever that amount ends up being, coming from the guild bank and going to the people who are, in theory, staking to those properties, whether they're part of that community or not. Rewarding or helping to incentivize people to build in that area.
correct. It
Oh.
also offers as a fantastic opportunity to almost advertise, because then that would be something that would be featured on, when you're looking for properties to stake.
Mm.
Say, hey, who needs my Spark? And then all of a sudden there's a neighborhood who's running a massive promo, so all of their properties are at the top. That's a great way. And so the way I envision it is this is going to be something that's going to help revive the Spark the Spark per hour, the
Mhm.
cost, the UPX per Spark hour cost.
There you
And
go. We got it.
and the reason I say that is because I think if you give neighborhoods that opportunity to say put in a promo,
Mhm.
so let's say that the base right now is 5 UPX per Spark hour,
That's about correct.
which I think is
Yeah,
normal. And
yeah,
then
yeah.
let's say a neighborhood goes, well, hey, we're going to offer a 3 UPX per Spark hour bonus. Now,
Mhm.
chances are, then if I'm in that neighborhood, I go, well, cool. I could put it up for like 4 UPX, and their 3 will put me
Mhm.
at 7. So I'm going to be at the top of the list anyway. So now everybody does that. We all put it up for 4. So it's super cheap to us and the sellers. So it's like a win-win. Everybody's winning. Right.
Mhm.
Well, now what that's also going to do is say you're running an independent. So maybe you're not part of a guild and now you want your thing built. You
Negative.
have you have an entire back wall of a neighborhood just running a massive promo. What are you going to do in order to get on top? You're going
There
to
you
have to
go.
go, hey, I'll pay 10 UPX because I need my thing done.
Mm.
And then what happens when the next neighborhood's like, well, we want to run a promo. Well, now you have people competing to see who can offer the most. Now you have the value of Spark, not necessarily generalized, but specific. Like we could see like prices start to skyrocket because areas want to prioritize their building. And that's what I kind of hope gets encouraged by those kind of things, is getting the community where they're traditionally doing, like a lot of them are already doing this, right? They're already doing Spark trains. They're already donating Spark. They're already donating UpX to have people do this. What I want to do is I want to make that way more visible, to say, hey, look at these communities that are running these events. Look at that, they're willing to pay more to have their neighborhood built out, which is then going to drive that competition of, well, hey, well, if they'll pay 7 UpX, we'll pay 10 UpX. Come here. You want to build out our neighborhood first, right?
And I think a key thing there is, and you've said it before and you've done it before, is none of it's in a vacuum, right? So it's like what's the use case of having a building with a structure on it? Maybe we haven't solved that, but if somebody else does, or if that gets solved a little bit down the line, and maybe you have a solution too. But if that,
Oh, I
if some,
do. Yeah.
are you going to tell me this?
I got so many, dude. I've solved all. There isn't. I solved NFLPA legits. So I don't even want to talk. Like,
Hey, you're telling me that you're about to launch again. We're starting reg season pretty soon. So you're telling me that you're going to give me fantasy football? Come on, let's go.
no, mine. That's a whole different discussion on what the layer 2 for that would need to look like and how you could theoretically run a sports collectible NFT project. It's a much larger discussion. But I will say again, how we solve the building issue is making home very important. And we're going to be doing that through the community, through the competition, through the governance, and also through things like your personal metaphase, for lack of a better term right now, which is going to be your 3D home of your actual property and your building and all your decorations. So that way you can actually visit it with you and your friends in 3D, like a spatial area, but very for your home address.
So this is integrated already, or in the process thereof of being integrated with everything else you're doing, UPX World right now.
Correct. So it all plays, so it kind of all plays really well together. And that's why, so also a quick background on me. My day job is I'm actually a software enterprise architect for a large consulting company. So my job day to day is to go around and implement massive IT changes and integrate different systems together. So when I started looking at this problem holistically, and just from like, I love data, so that's where we started. But then once you realize what actually comes inside that data and then what you can start doing with it, it starts to get nutty. And so after Genesis Week, not this last one, but the one before, after they showed the new APIs and the new racing specifically, I started to realize one of the attributes that they give is essentially a GeoJSON object, which is a nerdy way of saying a bunch of coordinates, a bunch of coordinates that map out to a plot of land for this purpose, which in this case is the properties. Also the lat long of the buildings, the rotations, all of the actual details to re-render Upland in its entirety in any environment. If you use, so we use Mapbox to Unity, so you can actually start to render these neighborhoods. So like when we did the racing last year and some of our demo playthroughs that we did at Genesis Week this year, you saw some of those actual neighborhoods rendered out. And that is from that integration, which we would ultimately like to automate in a much more streamlined way. So that way, again, everybody can have their own space. We call it, I like the term metaphase. I don't know. We'll see if it sticks. It's interesting.
So join me for Guild Wars and Metaphase, or jump into my Metaphase and
yeah, be like,
participate
hey,
in Guild
come
War.
hang out at my house. Like, you want to come and hang out at my metaspace, my metaspace,
Metaspace in my Metaphase.
my metaspace. I don't know. Just come hang out at my place. Like, you want to come chill at my place, and be able to go there. And that's going to motivate people to want to buy a bigger plot of land with a nicer house. Maybe have one of those luxury modern houses that look super cool for entertaining, as opposed to just a micro house. And people go to there and go, wow, cool, bro. This is awesome. You don't want to be that guy. You want to have the cool house. So
And you want the topiaries out front, and the nice statues out there, and the gazebo.
exactly. So you got to have all the decor. And if you ain't got an SR1 sitting in the driveway, what are you even doing with your life?
Jeez, I mean, why are you even inviting people over your Metaphase at that point?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So no, I think phase one is really going to be rolling out more along the data site. And actually, here I can go to UPX World. Well, that did not work.
UPX.world. That's the one.
World.
That's the one.
That's the one that's actually live. Again, you can go here today. We are integrating a couple things. So right now, when you go to the actual data mines, it takes you to a slightly different screen, which is fine. So here is the stats. So like we saw before, you can do the same stats. That's live. One of the other things, so this is one of my favorite things.
I'm liking this too, as somebody who owns a Metaventure. Show me.
Yeah. So, oh man, they actually changed this. Wait. Oh, I was just gonna look for.
You gonna show off with how many block explorers you have now?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. I know you were buying up some specific block explorers at one point, and then Upland's like, we're gonna do 3,000 of this block explorer, and you're like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, okay. So, well, this is one way to look at, I guess.
No, this is good. You could sort by name here, and you can see that you own like 50 of certain block explorers.
Well, and what I actually wanted to, actually, it's if I do a player search. So yeah, this is actually interesting. I guess this is one way if you wanted to look up and see who owned
A specific item.
Items, landmarks, things like that.
Oh, wait, so this is search NFT. Go back to that category. That's every asset in the game. Go up to the category where the structure is. There you go. That's like everything.
Yeah. No, you could literally search anything.
I love how that's called land vehicle, because that's assuming that I'm going to get my boat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at them land vehicles.
Jeez.
Those are all yours. What do you? How many garages you got?
I got a couple.
You got one of the first 10 vehicles, right? Or no, you just barely squirked out of that.
No, I did. I got mint 3 red.
Oh, that's right. You spent a little more money, and then
Two
Stupid paid way too much for a van, I think, right?
Yeah. Oh man, that's embarrassing. I have 1.7 unstaked spark.
Ooh.
Slacking. This is so if you want, I like this.
Well, how did we get here with the graphical display? Where did we get? What did we do to get there?
So this is in the user search. So if you search for a user and then go to NFT, this is what I like, because then I can look at. I like the gallery view, because I like to like.
Oh, absolutely.
And so now, and these are by mint.
Yeah.
So I can see. Oh, here's all my delicious mint ones.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm curious now. Let's see. Ornaments, are they visual?
Oh, look at those.
Nice.
Look at that flabby little baby up top of that roof.
Oh yeah, creepy kid.
Oh yeah.
creepy kid, the rejected creepy kid. I was all about the rejected
Oh,
creepy.
just a mass of flesh. That was something
Yeah.
special.
Wait, dang, how I got, oh, I think somebody sold me these.
How many mint ones you got? This is all mint one structure. Oh, that's right. You still have that mint one thing, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean, I love mint ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how many. Oh man, these the Halloween ones are probably ones I'm most proud of. 15 pages. So it's 15
Jeez.
times 50.
750. 750.
No, that's not too,
Woof. That's a lot. That's all Halloween, huh?
yeah. I don't have a lot of I wish there was an easy way to get legits. Oh, spirit legits.
What do you mean? Go to what type of legits do you want? I'll sell you some. Go to my shelf.
These spirit legits.
Oh yeah.
Can you sell these at a shop
So
somewhere?
this is official for you since you don't follow all the news. No, I part of I think it was a part of the last AMA is there are going to be at some point in the future a like miscellaneous pawn shop type thing as a metaventure where all the things that don't fit into those neat little boxes of NFLPA or football or Block Explorer that they're going to be able to be sold. So the things that like we don't have a place for right now, like the legits, like the Spirit of Halloween legits, throw them in there. Theoretically, maybe our uploads can get tossed in there too. The uploads from Wax, maybe those can get tossed in there too.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Oh, I
Look at those. All you had to do was make the asset, and then you get to have mint number one.
yeah, yeah. That's the easy way to do it. No, I bought a bunch of these.
Yeah.
Man, I like these. I
So
saw stuff.
I was involved when those tiles, when people were like really working hard to mint those. Did you buy those secondary or did you sneak into that action?
No, I bought them.
You bought them secondary. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, weird.
What is that? Oh, these are your structures. Okay, because structures do not have mint numbers. That makes more sense. All
Whoa,
right.
that's interesting. There's 50...
Well, so this is a piece of data that I didn't have in front of me. 52,403. You know what? Whenever I want a piece of data, I know where to get it. 52,436 small townhouses. Now we got to play with this. I mean, I want to eat up your time because we got to play with this now.
Yeah. Oh,
Tell me how many apartments there are in the game of Upland right now. All we got to do is sort by a name ascending, I'm assuming, because that's the name of the structure. So sort by name ascending, and we'll grab our apartments and we'll take a look.
Well, here it'd probably be easier just to. Oh well, you know what? It's not. It's by time built.
That's why I said just go by the apartment.
No, it won't.
You
it won't.
names?
It doesn't. It only sorts. It doesn't sort the entire list.
Oh, it's only sorting the page.
It only. I thought it only sorted the page.
Let's find out. Click it again.
It's broken. You broke it. Way to go.
Yeah, that's what you get for trying to test it out and see what you can do with it.
Yeah, I know.
You know what they say? Play around until it breaks, fix it.
Only 114 lily corps.
There you go.
I got 2 of them.
Well, and all it takes is spark and time, right? Spark and time.
No,
it does take a lot of spark to build one.
You need a property that can house it.
Yeah, they're pricey too. In San Francisco.
Medium factory 666. That's about right. Because you're
nobody build another medium factory. Stop where you are.
Building any. Oh, look at this though. What? Yeah.
Wow. How is there only one? That's crazy.
One. There's only one. There's only one Oddefred building.
When you have a landmark, just find out how to pronounce it, man. If you own the landmark.
How do you know how to pronounce it?
No, I don't, but I don't own that landmark.
Oddefred?
No, you just say it with confidence. That's the Oddefred building. Oh, another big deal.
That sounds you're right. You gotta be smooth about it. Oh, dude, the Oddefred building, of course. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's just one of my landmarks. Not a big deal.
565 large factories.
Yeah, people went all in those before they had
Damn.
announced the version 4, and they said if you want a car, maybe a large will make it. So a lot of people built larges. I've got a large for my carts coming up. Whoop whoop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mavs perch. It's 500.
That's
There's
a
less
lot. That's a lot for a custom building because that takes a
Yeah.
decent amount of spark. Look at them dang micros.
38,000 micros.
Yeah.
Luxury. 4,000 small factories.
Yeah, remember
Oh.
people were building those and they had no clue, and then they're like, by the way, you can only build certain things here. And everyone was like, oh, these are worthless.
Oh, no, bad.
Yeah.
2000 chic Hollywood Hills. These are mostly Dizzy. Dizzy loves these things.
Yeah.
He's a fiend for them. Luxuries 4,000. So that's interesting. It's interesting that there are more small factories than there are luxury modern or ranch homes.
That's
Like,
interesting. I mean, when you think about it, it's like, what's the use case? I would say that factory has more use case, but again,
no, it doesn't, because you
because
can't, you can only
you can only put like when you can only like throw 2 spark in at a time. Like, what are you doing with that thing?
and you can't have it as your home address.
I mean, you can if you get if you get manufacturing, but again, you can't do
No,
very
even
much.
if you get manufactured, you cannot put your home address as your manufacturing plant.
No, you can't, but you can manufacture out of it. It'd be pretty cool.
Sure, but you can't. So it's, to me, it's less utility.
So you're telling me you got to live in it? Gotta live in it.
Gotta live in it. Ranch, how many ranches? 23,000 ranches.
This is something, again, we're just looking at your property. These are all yours to begin with, but I mean, this is all the data that I'm looking at is, the stuff that I want to know. I could look at any of these, how many total are there. That's pretty interesting.
24,000 apartments. 23,000. It's interesting how close they are.
Yeah.
23,000 ranch. Because anywhere you can build a ranch, you can build an apartment.
Just
Oh,
about.
just about. There would be some,
because width is the hardest thing. Width is the hardest thing. The length isn't as the depth isn't as important.
gotcha.
Yeah. So
there you go.
for sure.
4,000 small townhouses, 50,000.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I love it. So and again,
Yeah, that's all live. So I mean, that's literally right now. You can see that. You can see Spark history. Again, we're all about transparency. So you can see.
Congratulations, you're not in jail.
I know. Yeah. If you're in jail, where your home address is, if you're staking all your Spark, how much your monthly yield is, how much you're sitting on. So if you're trying to make a deal with somebody, you can go find out exactly how much they're sitting on.
Be like, hey, you're sitting on 2 million UPX. Why are you trying to lowball me, man?
Yeah, don't lowball me. I know that you're making $1 million a month. Like,
yeah, but that's how I got my 2 million in the bank. Is I lowballed everybody. That's how that works.
Right. Exactly.
So that's amazing. And the one thing I do want to point out, because again, I do use other tools from other folks. Yeah. I do like how integrated everything here is. I mean, I can go in my property search and I can sort by everything. I can look at everything. I can, worry about what type of structures are there. I can do all of that from one table. I can go back on the NFT search and I can look at any type of NFT I want to. Then I can start searching those by different categories, sorting those by different categories. And I can hunt down that block explorer I'm looking for that there's only 30 of, and I can theoretically find out who owns it and make an offer and have them put it up in a block explorer store as a sub merchant and buy it because we have that reserve for player now. So maybe that's a huge tool.
Yeah, no, that would be awesome. So right now I'm searching. So here are, and maybe I should take off the USD, but this is small townhouses, ranches, townhouse building, luxury, small. I pretty much all the core buildings, and then by markup. So if you wanted, you can get an apartment.
Wow.
$17
in the Gold Coast. Who's selling that? Freaky. Look at this. We don't mean to put anyone on blast, but this is public data.
Man, Freaky Man is.
I mean, he
that is
buys
a-
it. He bought it cheap. If he bought it
That's
cheap,
a
he bought it
well.
cheap.
Hold on. We can see.
Let's find out. See, like I
Let's-
said, integrated. It's all integrated.
It's all integrated, baby. That's so. The Drizzle minted it for 40, sold it to Mossy Jake for 35. Freaky Man bought it for $11.
And passing on the good deal.
So that's
Passing on the good deal. He got it. He went in there. He bought an undervalued property. He's making a small profit to sell it. How is it still sitting in the market?
I have no idea.
Let me pop up my plant. No, it's but yeah, that's how you find the best deal in
Still, yeah, that
18
is.
bucks. That could be yours.
I wonder.
I'm not I'm not trying to trick you into oh.
Yeah.
There it goes. You don't know your own password.
Yeah.
That's your protection.
Yeah. No. That's actually. I'm not gonna do it here. Hold on. No, I just won't do it. I don't think I have any USD in my account, or I would buy it for sure. That's a good deal.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Luxury Modern for 45 in Rio.
You're
Here's some
nuts.
LA properties. Beverlywood. So
I mean,
again,
keep in mind that these don't consider any of the sparked time. So you're getting the structure for free. You're buying it at 45% of mint in USD.
yeah, like these are definitely. Oh man, here we go. I can immediately, and this is why I love this layout, because
Yeah.
I can immediately go, oh, well, this is of interest to me.
Yeah.
Here's Pacific Palisades. So if I wanted to
Collection, yeah.
So 3, it's a 1.5 boost. $25. I mean, oh wow, that's a Hollywood. A Hollywood for sale. Hollywood's a high 1.5 as well. With a luxury modern at 50.
So 56 cents on the dollar, free luxury modern, and it is a limited collection.
Yeah.
I mean, still $150. I mean,
yeah,
I could go have a nice steak dinner for that for myself.
Yeah, that's crazy. So like I immediately am like, all right, Pacific Palisades collection. Pacific Palisades. Oh wait, you know what? I'm gonna filter real quick. To
Los Angeles. There it is.
Yeah, so that way I just don't have to scroll through every single set. But again, here I can select multiple. Every single one of these is a multi-select. So if I wanted to do multiple cities, multiple neighborhoods, multiple statuses, I can do that.
This is a good way to, if you're not holding out for Tokyo, which let's be honest, we're all holding out for Tokyo. It's a good way to get some value buys.
Yeah. Wait, did we already sell some of these? No, these are the ones.
Yeah, we restored it differently.
No, it's still my markup. I think one of the Pacific Palisades. I think that one that. Wait, we're not live.
No, we're not live.
But I think it's still sold.
Well, I mean, if you put a hot deal out there, it's going to sell.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's sold because it was.
That 56 one is gone. That $150 one.
Somebody's probably buying this set, which.
Yeah, you were teasing it. You were teasing that's a good deal. Poof, it's gone.
But that's exactly why you always want to be searching for all the good deals.
Well, that's what happens when you do one of these live. When you do these evaluate the market live. I've done them before, and you see all the bottom of the market. Plop, 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 it's gone.
Gone. Yeah.
Or like you do evaluate the market. You're like, oh, this is a key street, and poof, it's gone. There's a note over there.
Yeah. So again, you can search by users. Again, all of the. Oh, so actually, structure. I wonder if I can do this.
Apartment. You gotta spell it right. You got it. No, you got it.
Let's see.
It's always a challenge though. You go to spell it. You got to do it right the first time. All right. So look at the apartments. Wow, look at them.
There you go. 19. So this says 19,000 apartments. What did we have on the other?
We were doing UPX only before.
Well, this says there's 24,000.
That's correct. That's the same number. So the 19,000 for sale is UPX and USD. We only had just.
No, this is just.
Oh, this is all. I
This
apologize.
is
This
just
is all.
apartment structures.
Oh, I thought you were selling them.
No, this
Okay.
is just. I was just kind of curious if.
How are there two different numbers there? How is there 24,742 total?
Well, this is just the current supply, so I don't know what that actually
Oh,
means.
19,132.
This is the total number that shows. Well, I'm curious. So
What's the discrepancy?
okay, so that's 19,000. So how about this? What we'll do is, so let's keep this up, and then I'll do a property search for all of the buildings in Upland that have apartments. So search for a property with a structure of.
You may have had a filter turned on there we didn't know we had turned on too.
So no, I mean this is just a straight.
Well, let me see. There's nothing structure, owner. I don't know. I don't see any filter. I was just interested that there's a discrepancy there, right?
Well, I mean, again, I don't actually know what that other number is. We assume.
19,000 change. Well,
So-
it says that's what the number of records were.
Yeah, so let's see what this says. 19,000. So that's gonna be.
Is it possible that some of them got destroyed? Like did 5,000 actually get destroyed?
Oh,
Is that possible?
burned? How about yes? I don't think that maybe they're not burning them.
I don't know. Both submit. Request error. Maybe it doesn't like the title the burn
Yeah.
for whatever reason. Oh no, you gotta do apartment again. Yeah, go back and check the. Oh, let's take a look. Yes, look at that. Look at that. Go down. So no, that number's still wrong.
Well, no, we don't know what this number means. We assume, because I don't know what current supply means in this context.
Okay.
Because as far as we know, Upland could have a bunch that are like hidden, like we don't know. Like I don't know what current supply, and that could be ones that were maybe started being built and then weren't. So
oh, you know what it could be? It could be ones in progress.
It could
current
also
supply. It could include progress, and then when you do your search, it's only if they've actually been completed.
Yeah, because this is only going to show complete.
I would bet that makes the most sense.
Yes,
that does make the most sense. Geez, I was looking for a conspiracy, and you shot me down.
Like, yeah, you're like searcher or something. Like
no conspiracy here. No, I was looking for a reason. I don't want there to be conspiracy. I just want to know why. I never outgrew that phase, not yet, anyways.
No, so that's yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. We actually launched this feature like the day before Upland made their spinny globe, which made me happy.
So you beat Upland to the punch.
Yes. So that way you can actually like have, and oh wait, here, I'm curious. Let's see here. So this is, do you remember which house you picked?
Me?
Yeah, were you part of the Genesis crew?
Oh, of course it was.
Yeah, do you remember which house you picked?
Oh, I don't know.
Galactic Gamer, Crypto Kitty, Artist, Botany Bay, Social Center, Socially Selective Center.
I don't know. I don't socially selective. I don't know. So this is the name of all the people. This is like their memorial. They're all dead, right?
No, they're not dead. But they are part. They were on the.
So this is the plaque.
Yeah,
commemorative, not memorial.
Yeah, this is commemorative. Yeah,
well, it says.
It does say memorial.
That's why I was like, are we all dead or what's going on here?
I don't think. Do you have to be dead to have a memorial?
Yeah.
You can't have a living. There's got to be a living.
What does in memoriam mean?
Well, that's Latin for in memory of, but
exactly. And what does it mean to be in memory of?
Okay.
No longer around. That's what I think.
Do you have friends? Presumably. Okay. So let's say I'm trying. I don't want to like jinx anybody, but like we both have a memory of Uplando, yes.
Don't jinx up Lando.
I know. I was like, there's no one I can't. I don't want to name anybody we know.
Yeah, he was the one person you're okay jinxing. You didn't want to jinx anyone else. Oh God. See, you know what I'm doing on my second screen right now? I need to know something, especially a structure established to remind people of a person or event. Okay.
I don't think
it doesn't have to be dead. You can have an Uplando memorial.
Yeah.
Just to remember him, even though he's still around.
Sure.
I'll take it.
A monument.
A monument. It's just to honor him. Okay.
I'll take in honor of. Yeah.
I always think memorial to a person is always like they're dead.
Sure. I mean, I think most of the time it is, but
not in this case.
Not in this case. Not yet. I mean, well. Oh, hey, there you are.
Oh yeah, told you. Social? What did I do that for?
Apparently, you're a social center.
I don't know. Maybe because I'm a broadcaster. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. You did it.
Hard telling.
Yeah.
So this is really cool. So this is again, the data. The data is the focus right now in UPX World. I know you've done other things. You're doing other things. You will do other things. Let's dip real quick our toes back into something that you did kind of lead with, and it was like you got ahead of me on it, which is exciting because you're excited. Because you've got this idea of partnerships you've already kind of pushed out there. You mentioned it, and to me, what was exciting is this is still pretty new because I talked to somebody who's a partner of yours who just talked to you about this a couple weeks ago. It didn't exist 3 weeks ago, and here it is. So tell me about your current partnerships that you can tell me about, unless they're all secret.
Wait. Who are you referring to in that context?
UPX World and UPX Spark Exchange. That's relatively
Spark
new.
Exchange.
That's relatively new.
Oh, gosh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's a couple weeks old.
Yeah, no, that's fresh off the paint. I mean, really, the big one right now is the Hyde Park Ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not already checking out all the cool stuff they're doing, you're definitely missing out. They do like Discord battles. They launched a coffee line. They're going to be doing so they're one of the first real experiences that we're going to start building games and content around, with the idea of, so my philosophy is any layer, the entire reason a layer 2 exists is to add value to a layer 1. That's it. If you're not adding value to a layer 1, you to me,
well, I mean, it's an experience though, right? Somebody's gonna enjoy what's going on there as well.
Sure, fine. But to me, I just go, I don't, you're not legit unless you're adding some sort of
sure. That's that. Otherwise, you're just a game.
Yeah, you're just a game with a very flimsy tie-in. And so like looking at the ninjas and how they're structuring every single NFT, so they're going to have like coffee NFTs that will be profit share of their coffee sales. And they'll have ninja NFTs that will be profit share of, say, the training and things like that people are doing in game. So their NFT base will actually be centered around passive income through a larger economy. And that's the kind of utility we actually want to bring to every asset in Upland. So when we talk about what is the real value play for, like, why should a layer 1 player be interested in layer 2? It's because that's where your asset value is going to grow tremendously. We were crunching numbers on, so our racing game, if we did our basic racing game with the profit share going to S1Rs from the original, the 2020, the ones that there's only 50 of.
2022, yeah.
2022,
yeah.
That there's 100 of, because there's 5 of each. 5 of each. There's 10 of each. There's 10 of each.
10 colors.
5. There's 5 colors, 10 of each.
50 total. Yes.
50 total. Yeah. Yes. 50 total. Yes. 50 total. That's correct. That's math.
That's math. It works.
That's it.
I was gonna say there's not
50
that many
total.
of them. 50
So
total.
then, and it doesn't sound like a lot, but like, let's say that it was 100 UPX to do a race, and we're just for the simple of numbers, everybody then gets 2 UPX. Each one of the cars gets 2.
Terminal rules.
Yeah,
They're just like the terminals. Yeah, terminal
well,
rules.
yeah, the terminals were I'm not going to say where they got that inspiration. That's
Well, they could come up with it on their own. You don't know.
mean, yeah, they could have, except that we've been talking about adding passive income to these properties forever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, in that case, those cars could be potentially generating hundreds of thousands of UPX a month in passive income for themselves. Like, that changes the value proposition of those assets greatly. And we want to do that with block explorers, properties, where if like Bones Balboa out in Lake Balboa, we're building a skeleton carnival, and all of the owners in that area are then profit sharers of that. So
that was a cool development, by the way. That was a cool plan development.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar, I might need to.
What are we gonna do? We're gonna do 2 hours of interview? Let's do it. Keep going.
Well, I wasn't even thinking about the interview. I was like, man, I haven't done a design build in a while.
You could do another one. I don't know.
I know. Maybe you think Tokyo? I need a big.
Oh, Tokyo's going to be tough. You're not going to be able to buy out a neighborhood in Tokyo.
I know. So this was. I don't know. Let's see. This is not. How do I make this bigger? Fit. Read mode. What's read mode? Oh, did that show big on your screen?
Oh, it's big on my screen. Look at that.
All right, cool. So this was the Warrior King, Bones Balboa. It was like 153. This is this was July 10th of 2022 of when we actually started. So it's over 150 properties, over 300,000 spark hours. And we actually pre-sold out all of these. And this is so we mapped it all out. I actually worked with the Upland Construction Company, and you can go visit this now. Like, this is fully complete. That we try to decorate it.
So you just bought. I mean, and again, this is for people who don't know. It's just a block of properties. You went and actively bought every single property so that you could make a design on it by angling structures the direction you wanted to make them. It's a planned community. It's a development.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I mean, we got super lucky on the side. These small townhouses, I mean, fit almost pixel perfect. So like, really happy with that. And this was before the neighborhood ratings. This was before all of that. And the reason that I wanted to really showcase this and this was before layer 2 even. So this was before there was ever going to be a skeleton carnival or anything like that. We were selling these for significant margins. So again, I think we spent over 20 million UPX in this development, building all this out. This was when Spark prices.
Yeah, I was just going to say Spark cost a lot more back then.
Yeah, but it's because I honestly believe it's because of projects like this. Because the thing is, I think I sold this at like 20 UPX per spark hour, something like that. And my investors happily paid that. Yeah. Like, they paid way more than that, actually. Because if you look at like I think we had the pricing guide here. And now you can't buy them.
Because they're all sold.
Small townhouses for 150,000. Like, you can buy these for like 10,000 UPX. Like,
oh yeah, we just were looking at that. You can buy out. You can go buy a townhouse anywhere in the game for 10,000, 8,000 UPX if you got a really good deal.
Yeah, and so I mean, and some of the bigger properties were selling for over $1 million. Like the crown pieces and stuff were selling for millions of UPX. So yeah, it was a really fun project. I really should do another one of those, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got to be able to buy the properties. Blocks of properties are harder to come by. I mean, there's still Kansas City. Wink, wink. Kansas City, take it.
Honestly, like, you joke, but like, that's the thing. if I was looking to do something fun in the game, that's exactly what you got to do.
Yeah.
I mean, that was in LA, it got a little expensive, but
Yeah.
there's probably still places in LA. There's 100,000 plus properties for sale still.
I mean, there are some areas, there's not many blocks anymore, but there were for a while. Like you could go to Detroit and buy out a block for like 150,000 UPX, and you could have like a whole block, and you could go do what you wanted to. Because it's again, the mint, the UPX per UP2 in some of those areas is pretty low, and you can still do that on the map. There's still ways to find big areas that are not fully minted yet.
Yep. So I mean, I highly encourage, if that's what you want to do, it can be a really fun adventure. And I just think it adds a cool Easter egg. Like if imagine treasure hunting in LA and then all of a sudden you bounce into the middle of a skull. Like you're like, what? Like I just in my head, just really like that idea of somebody accidentally coming across that. Like building that kind of Easter egg into the game for ourselves is super fun. That's one of the things I've always tried to do is I love sneaking Easter eggs into games like that.
Well, I mean, I really want true utility for structures. I think everybody does, or I mean, anybody who says, it's good enough as it is kind of like
no one's saying that.
What do you mean? People say good enough as it is.
No one's saying it's good enough as it is. Those people are definitely wrong.
Those people aren't playing the game. No, I want real utility, but I mean, I look for and I take little bits of utility where you can get it. And if it's player built utility, and if that part of that player built utility is I'm going to make a cool looking picture on the, in the game of Upland, and somebody's going to pay me more to own a piece of that picture, I think that's a form of utility. It's not given by Upland. It's not the same utility other people want, but it's something. It's art. Right. It's choice.
Correct. And we did that. There's the eye, which we did, which was the precursor to this. And that was a year before there was any concept of layer 2. And the whole purpose was, how do we add something cool to layer 1, right? This was before we had user generated content. So again, people weren't making their own decorations. They weren't crafting their own items yet. So yeah, I think to me, it's still one of the cooler things is people who take the time, even neighborhoods who coordinate building, I think is really fun. That becomes places that people want to visit. Shout out to Creedmoor, like they're crooked buildings, right? Like that's a cool thing to visit. You tell people, you're like, oh, you got to go check out this neighborhood. It's all crooked buildings and there's a psych ward. It's a whole thing. Like now people are like, I want to be a part of that. Right. And so, yeah, I love that community aspect.
Well, you have that float over effect. You just float over the area. You're like, whoa, I'm somewhere special because it looks different than where I just was.
Exactly. That float over effect. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's really cool. Again, you mentioned one of your partners or partnerships with Hyde Park Ninjas. Obviously, we know all the stuff that they've been doing. They ran a booth with you, or you guys were tandem in booth over at Genesis Week this year. So that was kind of fun to see you guys, in all your glory.
I had to represent a couple different people who didn't get their own booths.
Well, I mean, you got choked out. That was good.
I did not get choked out. I think Dr. Nobi got choked out.
He should have been choked out, but
and shout out to the UPX podcast. I can't forget my buddy, Too Stupid to Win. We've been doing the podcast now for over 3 years. That's the longest. That is the longest running broadcast, Upland related broadcast in the ecosystem. We were the first to stream, and we've been doing it nonstop ever since. So very proud to be part of that project with him. And yeah,
you told me about Grom. You already slipped that in there, so you have to finish that plug.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, Grom he leads. So what I'm building with UPX World is a platform and an ecosystem. So for instance, the data mines, they're actually run by Grom Brindle, and the Spark Exchange, which will integrate in and start doing that's run by Stosh, and the Hyde Park Ninjas, which will have their own thing, that's run by Hyde Park, and each of the neighborhoods is run by their own people. We are just building a platform of utility for these groups to come and build on. And so we want to work with the ladies of FIFA soccer and a lot of the other layer 2 games of like, how can we integrate into the same ecosystem? How can we look at cross rewards and synchronized promotion systems? Places like Upland Kingdoms, which is also run by Grom, obviously integrating those features in, as well as giving data insights and valuable things into those layer 2.
It doesn't seem like it'd be very hard for you to, take his data if he provided it to you, his UI data, and you could do the same thing that you do with the Upland API, which is, here's where all the structures are. This is what the improvements are on all these structures, which you don't have it in an easy way. You don't always have it in an easy way. It's there, but it's not all integrated. And then you could provide that for people having an extra layer of looking at the data of this game. And then you have another game, you can do the same thing. That's the grand scheme?
Correct. So in the
Master plan?
long run, we want to be the amalgamation of layer 2 data, right? And layer 1 data. So when you start looking at what's the true value of a property, right? Well, right now it's really what is it in layer 1? Where's your neighborhood as a part of a collection? What was its meant? All of that. But as we start to build layer 2s on top of it, there's going to be new metrics like, well, wait, we haven't even touched on advertising, and I don't want to get into that because that's a whole nother thing.
Oh, you don't want to get into that because that was where I was in layer 2. But yeah, you could get into that. I don't care.
Like when you start talking about like, okay, well, what's the actual revenue of this property? Well, here it's got race revenue from ads here. It's got shop revenue from a layer 2 here, where it runs an apothecary. It's got Upland Kingdoms revenue here. It's got Spark Exchange revenue here. Whatever it is, all of a sudden now you have to look at a much wider profile of that property to really understand what is the value proposition of it. And even though it's 10x its neighbor, it might actually be well worth it depending on its the profile.
And that's the thing, that's the thing, like we're still holding out and waiting for it. I still think we need to get more layer 1 utility, but getting utility in layer 2 is definitely utility. It's still utility. That property can do something different in layer 2 than it can do in layer 1 because of the way the layer 2 is set up.
I think we are going to see very limited layer 1 functionality. And I'll tell you why. You can't balance it. One of the biggest gaming problems that any Web3 gaming company that is trying to leverage NFTs is going to run into is the classic gaming issue of power creep as you expand, and in general balance of power and feature set. So if you were to like add some sort of major feature utility that could break the value or disrupt the ecosystem, like if you add that to layer 1, that's a really big risk. If you disrupt the layer 1 economy, that is real bad. So in my world, Upland's only job is to not mess up the economy, and they're very good at doing that. Like they learn quickly, they balance things. I mean, we saw the teeter-totter of like Manhattan, LA, and now I think they're finally dialed into the wave release cycle, the balancing demand, keeping mint prices about where they want them, and sell through at a steady pace. That's the most critical thing, because if as you expand new things, you have to, as an NFT project, respect the people who bought in early. If you keep making more powerful, better things, if the newest is always better than your old stuff, people will just be mad that they invested, and then like your entire kind of community dissolves.
But that balance also can't be too overly weighted towards the early adopters.
Correct. Yeah. Right. And so you can't. That's the Achilles heel, or the double-edged sword of it. You can't make the first thing you print the most powerful thing. Like I hate to say it, as much as I love my Series 1R 2022, that cannot be the fastest car that's ever going to be made. I wish it was, but like the reality is it can't be, because then it will completely decentivize new players from coming in at that top spot. I think that they were clever when they released the 2023 S1Rs, where the net stats were just slightly tweaked, so they're different.
They do better in different courses, yeah.
Yeah, which I think is an interesting way to do it. Ultimately, I think we have some gamification and ideas on what we would like to do with it. And again, as a layer 2, we can implement all kinds of stuff. If I create a block explorer battle game and I make it so that I create different guilds or values along different collections or seasons of block explorers and make them more powerful, and it doesn't work and I need to rebalance it and I nerf one, like, yeah, people are going to be upset at my game, and it might affect a little bit of the market, but it's not going to collapse Upland. So Upland needs a bunch of layer 2s to start adding value. And then the benefit is, of 1,000 layer 2s that get created, even if 900 of them fail, you still have 100 new things still going on and adding value, but you're not messing with your layer 1 assets. You're only growing the value. And that is the key. That's what's really different than what like Decentraland is doing, what Sandbox is doing, because they're growing horizontally. They just keep expanding out. Hey, here's a new section of land for Tony Hawk. Here's
new district. Look at this new district. Yeah.
Right. And it's got a whole new feature set and all this stuff. That sucks. Like, I want to build vertically. I want Tony Hawk to come in and then everybody just be able to build a skate park. And then when we do the next cool tower defense thing, everybody can do that. And when we do Upland Kingdoms, everybody can do that. And when we do
but there's a tower defense on the skateboard from the Tony Hawk. That cross-pollination, that's what you need.
Well, and then, well, you'll be able to do that. And that's the fun thing is like avatars, unlocks, even cross game compatibility. We are looking at larger gaming mechanics, especially in the world of crafting. So we've already teased that both the anvil and the test tube statues, which are the product from the UPX World Genesis Factory and the UPX Podcast Genesis Factory, will have layer 2 utility relating to crafting.
Well, that's why I have a few of them. Yeah.
The test tubes will be relating to an alchemy style crafting, and the anvils will be related to a blacksmith style crafting.
So that's still on the roadmap. It's just not what's happening today.
Which is not what's happening today. Correct. But absolutely, that everything that has been slated is still slated. It's just now we have we're about a year in, actually. UPX World is actually, this might even be its year anniversary.
No, I thought no.
Well, wait.
I thought you started kicking stuff off.
So UPX World has been around for about 3 years. UPX Style has been around for about UPX World Inc., which is the C Corp that I started last year after Genesis Week. I think was about, hold on. I have my incorporation documents right here.
So you incorporate after Gen Week, but you started the prelim before Gen Week, I remember.
No. Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Well, dude, look at that. Your camera is emptying it out. Wow.
What?
There they are.
There. UPX World Inc. This is my official, my binder of all my documents.
That's called official right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, we got our stock ledger, because again, we're a C Corp. So let's see. I think here's our S4. Let's see, what is this dated here? September. Date of this note is 8/5. Yeah, so it was
2022?
2022, 8/5/2022.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, so we are 1 year old. Oh, I missed our 1 year anniversary.
Oh, how'd you miss it? Well, guess what? Happy birthday. There you go. We just did it. We just celebrated it.
Very cool. Yeah. So, we're doing it different. And I want to stress, it has been a long year. I definitely expected to have certain things further along because I didn't know. I didn't know what it took to build a game.
You also went some different directions too, where you picked up some different partnerships. You're doing different things with different people.
All very true. We try to keep a very agile mindset. And I am very proud of the way we've done it. So I have stuck to the guns of we haven't pre-sold any NFTs, we haven't pre-sold anything to the community without being able to offer something. The way that we raised capital was always through selling of shares. So as a licensee corporation, we sold shares so that way people could buy in directly, which I view as legitimate investing of like, this isn't, oh, hey, I'm going to buy your NFT and then I get some perk. Like, nope, you own a part of the company. When we go public, when we sell to Amazon for $1 billion, you're going to get a big fat paycheck because you own part of the company because you believe in it.
I just had that happen recently, and it's just like, yeah, go public, yeah. And it was exciting because it's it's 8 years in the making of doing early seed round investing. You're like, there you go, good guys.
Yeah, and so that is one thing I'm really proud that over the past year we've been almost, I mean, between myself and several key investors, we've been able to kind of self-fund without having to do any sort of like gotcha NFT sales.
Yeah.
I really they just rub me the wrong way, because here's the thing is if that goes, I mean, if it goes belly up, it goes belly up. I mean, I was a huge proponent of Kickstarter. I view it kind of like a Kickstarter, but I think there is not nearly as much accountability or like transparency in the projects that I would like to see that are doing that. So for me, that was like a big no.
Give me a slice of that pie as opposed to let me smell the pie.
Right. Correct.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good model. I think getting investors who actually are gonna actually get something out of the investment, and I mean, anytime that you see something that is funded by people buying NFTs that don't have utility until eventually, it's a little bit scary.
We say on an Upland podcast.
Hey, I mean, well, it's your job to make utility for those NFTs. Get on it. Get on it. No, I appreciate it. What else do you, I mean, because I was trying to get you to kind of lay it all out there. I think you've got other stuff going on that we don't have time for.
I got a ton of stuff still going on. We didn't even get to talk about our partnership with URL, the Upland Racing League, or Viva Las Upland, and the X carts that we're working on. There's so much happening. It's
So we just got together to talk about data. Now you're telling me we have to get together to talk about all these other sub businesses you guys are doing?
Probably, yeah. Oh, and then I didn't even get to talk about our big plan. What we're doing with Ryan Miano and the New York Stock Exchange.
What?
And
is this real?
Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna build the exchange. So in addition to having something like the Spark Exchange, we're going to be utilizing escrow services to allow multi-chain transactions in a completely new, safe, and secure way that has never been seen before. So imagine.
So is this going to be a multi-chain escrow with locked containers?
Yep. So you'll be able to trade your Upland assets for Wax assets, for Ethereum assets,
without having to do a sub layer, which means you don't have to go into somebody else's currency.
Correct. You don't ever have to take any of your assets off of the chain that they were originated on. All transactions are completely secure, and now you have a way of transacting across chains. And
stay out of those gas guzzlers, though.
Yeah, so
because you still have to pay the gas if it
still have to pay the gas, but assuming, and again, we'll integrate with like Polygon and I say Enigma was maybe another one. I can't remember. There's a couple, but yeah, the idea is then we run the escrow service. So when you log into UPX World, you attach your Upland account, you attach your Wax account, you attach your Polygon account, and then you can go browse our completely universal exchange. And say, hey, I want to put up this ornament and I really want that random Wax NFT. and then pose a trade, and then complete the transaction on the exchange. And we will then escrow in the wax item, escrow in the EOS item, resolve it to the corresponding accounts, and your items never have to leave the chain that they were on. You don't have to worry about them sitting in accounts or duplicating. You don't have to worry about cross-chain compatibility, because your assets never leave the chain that they originated on, and now you have complete universal flexibility. So yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, so I guess there's also that.
See, that's what you do. You have to like drop at the end that mic. So that is something that we talked about later. Is that's an eventually thing, or is that like
it's an eventually sooner than later. I think it's
cool.
very cool. And then we want to put it in. So we're actually working with the Nowhere team. So we actually have the CEO of Nowhere, and we're going to do a virtual like New York Stock Exchange trading floor. So you'll be able to go in and see live action, like here's the spark prices and here's transactions, and let's go.
And I'm gonna give you, one of these really stupid things per hour or whatever, those pop figures, that there's 76,000 of. I'm gonna give you one of them per hour for you to stake onto my my building in Upland, my structure that I need to have built.
There you go.
And I just like keep throwing those pops into the fire to get that building, that structure built.
Possibilities are endless.
Nuts. So I love it. I appreciate your time. Anything else that we didn't hit? I know we took forever doing this, but I think we have forever more to go. I mean, what else do you have to put out there? What else do we not want to miss for today?
No, I think that's probably it. I'm sure.
Be good to your neighbors. Take care of your kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Expect more from everybody, and keep putting it out yourself.
Yes, indeed.
There you go. That's developer credo. Hope that everybody else does well and continue to put out your own product.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much, TML. We'll do this again because we need to, because you dropped the most important stuff at the end. I mean, like, haha.
Yeah, well, I gotta keep you wanting more.
Absolutely. That's the thing, is like you do the plug at the end. You talk about what you got now, which is great, but then you plug what people really want to know. So I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much, and keep on doing what you're doing. Peace.